Hi students, let us start our unit 2. I am going to explain you basic concepts of the unit 2 topic so that you can be able to understand the overview of the in-class activity, what we are going to do from this pre-class activity. So the topics which we are going to cover in this lecture are energy sources and conversion, energy terms, energy measurements, calorific values, thermal comfort, factors affecting thermal comfort. So these are the major points which we are going to cover in our regular class when you come online. So but these are the major topics which we are going to cover. You can see here thermal comfort. You might have got clear idea on various types of comforts, but generally a thermal comfort is related to about the room ambient temperature, like how a human body has its own comfort levels. So the factors affecting thermal comfort, like personal variables like activity, clothing, age, gender. So like these are such personal variables which affects the thermal comfort. So the personal variables affecting the thermal comfort can be considered as activity, clothing, age and gender. Coming to physical variables, the physical variables are air temperature, air movement, surface temperatures and humidity. So these are the various types of personal variables and physical variables. You can see the other important topics which we are going to cover are ventilation, energy transfer in buildings, again measuring insulation and heat loss, then U value. So these are the other topics which we are going to cover. So the factors affecting the heat loss are heat loss and heat gain. I would like to give you a very brief about the heat loss and heat gain. So generally heat travels from high temperature to low temperature. The heat travels from high temperature to low temperature. So in this condition, so to make the temperature travel from high temperature to low temperature, it needs some vacuum or it needs some space. Like if a room is totally closed, properly closed, so then there are very less chances that the outside air peeps inside or out, inside air goes outside. Like there is the energy transfer, the heat transfer might be restricted, but there might be some gaps between the doors and windows or roof or floor. So through this gap sometimes outside temperature enters inside and inside temperature goes outside. So these are generally called as heat loss and heat gain. So fabric heat loss, like by transfer through the external shell of the building. Ventilation heat loss is by both, it can be purposeful or unintentional changes of air in the building. You can see here, so the external temperature because of the sun or because of the daytime, the internal temperatures, the external temperature is because of the solar radiation. It can be through the doors and windows or any ventilators, but inside there is a chance of heat, there is a chance of producing heat inside buildings. So how inside buildings are produced, it can be through fabric transmission, it can be through lighting, because lights also releases some heat. So water heating, cooking, people around us, electrical appliances. So all these are the reasons of typical heat gains in a building. So you can see the energy balance of building. The energy balance of the buildings can be given as heat energy losses, which are fabric loss and ventilation loss. Heat energy gains like solar gains and casual gains, plus or minus energy used by heating and cooling system. So these are generally energy balance of buildings. So you can see heat energy losses, fabric loss and ventilation loss is considered as heat energy. Remember this one, you might get a question on this also. So heat energy gains, solar gains and casual gains, energy used by heating and cooling systems, what it is called as. It is known as energy used. Okay, so these are the basic topics which we are going to cover in this next class. So I will give you a very basic questions in the next slides, so kindly complete it. Okay, thank you so much.